There is a new phobia in town called Naijaphobia, and on a daily basis as a Nigerian living in Ghana, I am scared of coming in contact with Ghanaians, even Nigerians that are Naijaphobic. I am now living in fear, and if you have the opportunity to ask one or two Nigerians that are living in the diaspora, they have this same fear, but maybe they are not telling you, and that is why I have come to discuss this today. What is the way forward? Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time of coming across my channel, you are highly welcome. My name is BEFE'S. Let us go straight into today's video. As a Nigerian that has lived in Ghana for over 9 years, I can say for a fact that things have changed over the years. Years back, I never had fear of being a Nigerian. Years back, I could boldly walk on the road and boast of being a Nigerian. I had no reason to think twice before I tell my neighbor or I tell someone outside that I am a Nigerian. But now, the opposite is the case. There is a phobia called Naijaphobia. Many people don't even know that this phobia exists, and so many people have this phobia unknown to them. And as a Nigerian living in Ghana, I am going to be taking my case study from Ghana. Many Nigerians living in the diaspora or wherever you are living, they can also share the same experience with me if I am not mistaken. I cannot be the only one feeling this way. Trust me, I have also spoken with some Nigerians that also share the same ideology. So I am okay to say most Nigerians, especially the law-abiding Nigerians, are having these fears I am about to list out. So what is Naijaphobia? First off, before we delve into the fears and how to combat these fears. Naijaphobia is the fear of Nigeria or Nigerians. Have you come across someone and you say, have you visited Nigeria? And the person is filled with so much resentment and the person don't want to even hear the name Nigeria. God forbid. Nigeria, never. I will never go there. It's just like that is a dead zone. It is a no-go area. That is people's perception about Nigeria. And your perception and your feelings are valid. Just like other phobia, your fears are valid. Your fears might be due to what you have heard about Nigeria. Your fears might be due to your experiences with Nigerians. Your fears might be due to what you have read on social media about Nigeria. So it's okay. Your fears are valid. And if you have heard something about Nigeria, there is every tendency that maybe what you heard was true. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that what you heard wasn't true or your fears are not valid. But do you know that you might have developed this phobia over the years and it's unknown to you, and you are leeching it out on even the innocent Nigerians? I interviewed a Nigerian who has lived in Ghana for the past 25 years and counting, and he said something in that interview. He said when he came to Ghana back in the year 1999, landlords were not even scared of giving their houses to Nigerians. They had no fears whatsoever. But now the reverse is the case, and that got me thinking, if that wasn't happening many years ago, what has changed? What really happened? What went wrong? Where are we getting it wrong? And that brought me to the conclusion that we have definitely done something wrong, because people don't just develop fears, especially when it has to do with humans. You don't just develop fears for humans. And then I went into my research mode and I realized that due to the uncultured behavior of some Nigerians, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, so many people, even Nigerians, have now developed this fear for Nigeria or Nigerians. We have heard the case of Yahoo. These are guys or ladies that are fraudulent and they take their time to rip people off their hard-earned money. Who wants to be ripped off their hard-earned money? We have also heard the case of ritual killings, where people are being used for ritual. and this has been tagged to Nigeria or Nigerians. We have heard a lot of demeaning things about Nigeria and Nigerians. So even people that have not entered into Nigeria, that have not visited Nigeria before, they have a clue, they have a perception about Nigeria. Though Nigeria is filled with great people, let's talk about the music industry, how Nigeria have rising stars and stars standing tall in the music industry all over the world. Nigeria has one of the richest people in the world. Nigeria has, natural resources that has pulled in investors over the years. There are so many good things that Nigeria has. A very big country, a country that is called the giant of Africa. But still, though it is the giant of Africa, the giant is falling. The giant is falling. And the earlier we do something about this, the better for us. Like I said earlier, so many people have reasons why they are scared of Nigeria. It can be due to their personal experience. It can be due to what they have heard about Nigeria. It can be due to what they've read or they've seen on social media about Nigerians. And some can just be perceptions. Some can just be illusions. Some can just be myth. But whatsoever it is, they are all valid. But now, let's delve straight into what we as Nigerians, we as good Nigerians living in Nigeria and outside of Nigeria are facing due to the actions of the bad eggs among us. First off, I want to say that it is not every Nigerian that is bad. I've come across one Ghanaian that says she loves Nigerians so much, and that is because of one of her workers who is a Nigerian. She said this girl has been working for her for so many years and she has never had any reason to doubt this girl. She has never had any reason to say she wants to even sack this girl. She is praying to God that this girl even marries a Ghanaian just so she doesn't leave Ghana. So that girl, that lady has painted a very good picture of Nigeria to this woman. Though she haven't visited Nigeria before, she follows the news in Nigeria. She knows almost all the actors and actresses in Nigeria. In fact, when I met her, it's like she knows Nigeria and what's going on in Nigeria more than me, a Nigerian. So you see, there are good Nigerians. Maybe you haven't come in contact with them. Before I talk about the solution to this phobia, I am going to be sharing the fears I have as a foreigner, as a Nigerian living in Ghana, and the fears that other Nigerians will have as a Nigerian living in a foreign land. I'm going to be using Ghana as a case study, as I said earlier. There is this fear of Nigeria must go. The campaign is gradually starting on social media. So many people would say, ignore it, it is social media. It's not happening in reality. It can never happen in reality. But do you know the power of social media now? Do you know how strong and powerful social media is now? Most of the campaigns that have gone on in recent times started from social media and then they hit the streets. So do not look down on social media. Social media is a very, very powerful tool. You see people come under comment section and spill it. Nigeria must go. I mean, in Ghana, you see people come under your videos and then they give you that energy like you are not needed here. The video where I interviewed a Nigerian who have stayed in Nigeria for 25 years, Mr. OK spoke a lot about Ghanaians. He spoke how much he loved Ghanaians. If you watch that video, you would see the sincerity in Mr. Ok's voice. But someone came under that video and said he was just saying that all of that was staged and he's trying to paint a good picture for Ghanaians so that Ghanaians don't send Nigerians away, but Nigeria must go. Before I saw that comment, I saw about 6 people liking that comment. That is to say, they support that motion. They support that narrative. And so I deleted and blocked that comment because my channel is not going to be the channel you will use to raise that campaign. So there is this fear that this campaign can come to reality. I pray it never does. Somebody might say, are you scared of going back to Nigeria? Hell no. I wasn't chased from home. I can always go back home. But let's reminisce on what happened in the year 1969 when Nigerians and other foreigners were chased out of Nigeria. Do you know the effect of that? And when there was a reverse case, when Nigeria chased Ghanaians and other foreigners in the year 1983, do you know the effect of that action, or the action of these two beautiful countries? If you never knew anyone that experienced that or that went through that, let me say like a Nigerian that was living in Ghana as at the time and a Ghanaian that was living in Nigeria as at the time, please do well to look for one and ask that person questions, and the person is going to tell you the effects, the damage that incident caused. So many lives were lost. People lost their investments. We had Nigerians that had investments in Ghana, and when that law was set, they lost everything. We had Ghanaians that had investments in Nigeria, and when that happened in Nigeria, they lost everything. They came back to square zero. Imagine yourself being in another man's land and investing there, working so hard, ensuring that you are able to take care of your family, your loved ones, your mother, your siblings, your husband, your wife, your children, and then the thing that is giving you that strength, that livelihood, is being taken away from you. Think about it. You might not understand, maybe because you are a Ghanaian or you are a Nigerian living in your own country, so you feel it doesn't concern me, but you don't know tomorrow. You might step out of the shores of your own country, and let's not pray for anything bad. What about your children? Let's not pray for anything of that sort to happen to them. So a lot of families lost their loved ones. A lot of people could not come out from the damage of those incidents. A lot of families were separated. Nigerians that were married to Ghanaians, and when those laws were set, the families had to separate because maybe the Ghanaian didn't want to follow the Nigerian back to his country, or the Nigerian didn't want to follow the Ghanaian back to his or her country. So families were separated. Children were forced to choose between their mother and their father. A lot of things went wrong, and it is not something anybody should experience or should pray for. We have a lot of things in Africa to worry and think about than to raise that campaign. So that is one of my fear, that this campaign should not come to reality. Another fear that I have as a Nigerian living in Ghana is the fear of getting to prove myself every single time. If any other person from any other country have to prove just 50% to get accepted, a Nigerian living in Ghana would have to prove 120% for the person to be accepted, because there is something you have to prove to your Ghanaian brothers and sisters that you are not, just for you to be accepted. We have incidents where you go to look for houses and it is clearly stated, we are not accepting Nigerians. I've said it before on this channel that there are times where you meet someone and the person asks you, what do you do for a living? What are you doing in Ghana? Earlier when I was in Ghana so many years ago, I didn't get to face this fear. I didn't get to experience all this. Maybe because I was a student. So when people ask me, what do you do in Ghana? I am a student. It is respectable that you are a student. But now that you are not a student, you have to prove a point. You have to prove a point every single time. And for someone like me who don't like proving a point, there are so many people like me that hate explaining themselves. I mean, explaining themselves to prove a point. So at this point, it becomes so tiring. And at this point, you are so scared of Even telling someone you are a Nigerian, so you don't have to answer further questions. You don't have to go through scrutiny. You don't have to go through interrogations. You don't have to be suspected. You are just so scared of even opening up to say you are a Nigerian. But guess what? Your tonation will always sell you out. There is no how I'll have to pick a call in Trotro where I'm speaking with my fellow Nigerian and you expect me to speak like a Ghanaian, or you expect me to speak Chi. I will definitely speak my Nigerian English, and you are being figured out to be a Nigerian. And then sometimes you get to see the look on the faces of people around you, as if you are not wanted, as if you are not accepted. Do not get me wrong. Ghanaians are people that accept foreigners. Ghanaians are people that love foreigners. They are people that are accommodating. And for them not to love Nigeria, or for them to have this certain kind of fear for Nigeria, there is definitely something that went wrong. So if you are a foreigner thinking of coming to Ghana, do not watch this video and think that Ghanaians don't love foreigners. This video is targeted at Nigerians. Do not misinterpret this video. Come to Ghana. Ghana is a motherland. Ghana is home. Come to Ghana. Visit home. Visit Africa. This is a place for you. You're going to be welcomed, warmly welcomed in Ghana. So yeah, that is one of my fear, like getting to prove yourself every single time. Do you know how that can be frustrating? Do you know how that can be tiring? Do you know how that can make you feel less of yourself if you do not have a high self-esteem all the time? Many of us will not understand. Another fear as a Nigerian living in Ghana is the fear of rejection. The fear of going to look for something, and because you are a Nigerian, you will be rejected, especially when it comes to accommodation. I don't know if people in the workspace also face something like this. Let me know in the comment section. I haven't heard anything like that as a Nigerian looking for a job, you are being rejected because you are a Nigerian. I haven't heard that, but I have experienced and I've heard situations where as a Nigerian looking for accommodation in Ghana, you will be outrightly rejected. It's not like they are trying to pass through corners. You will be outrightly rejected. So that's fear of rejection, especially if you are someone that don't know how to accept rejection. You are going to go through a lot in Ghana as a Nigerian. Looking for accommodation, you will face it. I promise you. You will face it unless you have someone to really stand in for you, to speak for you, or maybe you go to the high ranked areas in Ghana to look for accommodation. Then as long as you have the money to pay for the accommodation, you are good to go. So that is one of the major fear I have and other Nigerians have as a Nigerian living in Ghana. And I'm not generalizing these Nigerians. I mean good Nigerians. I mean law-abiding Nigerians. Okay, so what is the way forward? First, I'm going to be handling the Nigerians that have tarnished the image of Nigeria, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Everybody should pay for their sin. You should pay for your sin. Nobody is Jesus Christ. Nobody can be Jesus Christ, who decided to go on the cross of Calvary to pay for our own sin, the sin he did not commit. Nobody is Jesus Christ. It is only Jesus Christ that can do that. If you catch a Nigerian going against the law of the land in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, that person should pay for his or her sins. That person should be brought to book. The earlier we start facing it, the earlier we start holding these people accountable for their sins, the better for the citizens of the country and for the innocent ones. Because the more we leave these people outside, two things: the more they influence others to join them to commit that same crime, or the more they will destroy people and damage people, the more they will tarnish the image of this wonderful country called Nigeria. So both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Let me talk for Ghana. Ghana, if you meet any Nigeria that has gone against the law, that has done something that is despicable, that shouldn't be done, that Nigerian should be punished for his or her sin. Deport the person back to Nigeria. By the time every Nigerian knows that, or all the bad Nigerians in Ghana knows that, if you are caught, when there is a court, you will be deported back to Nigeria. Trust me, so many people will sit up. And the earlier we start doing that, the better for us. They will send the message back home that Ghana is a place for no messing up. Just like in the abroad, if you misbehave, they will send you back home. You will be deported. Why can't we implement that same law in Ghana, that if you misbehave, you will be deported back to your country? So now let's talk about the phobia and those that have this phobia. First off, your fears are valid. You might be watching this video and you want to even come for me in the comment section. Do you know what this Nigerian did to me? I gave my house to this Nigerian and he messed up everywhere and he scattered everything. I am not ready to hear anything. I don't want a Nigerian. I don't want a Nigerian. You might be watching this video. You might have experienced something like that. First off, I want to apologize. I want to apologize on behalf of my fellow compatriots, of my fellow Nigerians. I want to apologize for the way they treated you. Nobody should go through that. You know, your hard-earned money, you've built your house and you have to experience that. Someone have to destroy your property. Is like destroying the years you have worked. I am really sorry. Please, please, forgive. Just forgive that person and let it go. It is not an easy thing to do, but please just do it for the sake of the innocent Nigerians out there. So yes, your fears are valid. For you that have read things on social media, for you that have heard stories, your fears are valid. This is me coming to tell you that they are valid. I am not here to come and tell you that they are invalid. But come to think of it, you've heard how big Nigeria is. Yes, one bad egg can soil the others. And it's really sad that you have to hear such bad and demeaning things about Nigeria and Nigerians. And you have built this wall around you when it comes to Nigeria or Nigerians. What about the good, innocent Nigerians? Have you thought about the effect of your actions on them? Do you know that there can be a ripple effect of your action? So this is what happens. A Nigerian has done something bad to a Ghanaian, and then a Ghanaian has taken it upon his or herself to dislike Nigerians, and then the innocent Nigerian is being rejected. The innocent Nigerian is being treated bad. The innocent Nigerian is being treated unfairly, and that innocent Nigerian now have a perception that Ghanaians don't love Nigerians, or Ghanaians don't love me, and then they start building another kind of fear again. Trust me, I have heard some Nigerians say that Ghanaians don't love Nigerians, and when you ask why, they will start listing out these things to you. That when you see a Ghanaian and you tell the Ghanaian that you're a Nigerian, they don't want to give their house to you. They pass some negative comments. They say this, they say that. And I try to explain to them that it is due to the bad seeds that the bad ones have sown. It has grown. It is growing, like it is bearing fruits. And these are the fruits. So an action can happen, but your reaction is what can worsen the situation or calm down the situation. So as a Ghanaian, as a foreigner, whoever you are watching this video from any other country, and you have had bad encounters with Nigerians, first off, I apologize. But secondly, think about the good Nigerians. Think about it that not everybody in Nigeria can be bad. So it is okay to give the Nigerian next door a second chance. It's okay for you to take your time, but try to give that Nigerian a benefit of doubt. Try not to pass negative comments. Try not to have negative perception when you have no proof or no reason to have that perception about that particular person. Character, lifestyle, and everything is individualistic. It is not about the country. It is about the person. It is about the individual. Nigeria is too big, and the percentage of these bad people cannot be compared to the good people of Nigeria. And I just hope and wish and pray that these bad people spoiling the image and the name of Nigeria they are being brought to book. I just pray and hope that they are being brought to book, and this giant of Africa called Nigeria will rise again, because as it stands now, the giant is falling and it needs to rise again. And it starts from you and I. Me as a Nigerian, I have to set a good standard. I have to set a good pace. And you as a foreigner, you have to be open-minded to receive the next Nigerian next door. So you can create a safe space for you and a Nigerian. If you have encountered anything negative with a Nigerian, just create a safe space. If you can meet a therapist, because if it has turned into phobia, you really need a therapist. There are other kinds of phobia. There are different kinds of phobia. And when you see that it is beginning to affect your daily life, I think it's necessary we see a therapist. Me, for instance, I have a phobia called phobia for heights. And my last visit to Kwu, it was exhibited so much. Like, I exhibited that fear so much. But I am glad I was able to face my fears. Gradually, the fear is not like I've not gotten rid of the fear. I haven't gotten rid of it, but I can tell you for a fact that I am working towards the right direction, taking that bold step of climbing the Kwu mountains. So if I had never taken that step, that's say I am not even willing to fight that fear. I'm not even willing to face that fear. So if you have this fear for Nigerians called Naijaphobia, I think it is necessary that we create that safe space for you to interact with good Nigerians. Take your time. Don't rush. Take your time. Watch a Nigerian from afar. And if you see that the person is a good person, if your instinct, if your intuition is telling you that this person is a good person to interact with, then try to go close to the person. Try to create a safe relationship with the person, and gradually, you will come out of it. So the innocent Nigerians don't get to suffer from what the bad ones have done. Trust me, Nigerians are amazing people. I mean, we have good Nigerians, and you don't want to deprive yourself of coming in contact with these good Nigerians just because of one bad egg, just because of few bad eggs. You don't want to deprive yourself of having amazing relationships with these amazing people called Nigerians. So I think something can be done. As Nigerians living in Ghana, as Nigerians living in the diaspora, as Nigerians living in Nigeria, please try as much as possible to save this name called Nigeria. It is never just about you. It is also about your country. It is also about your homeland. So when you are doing things, do not just think about yourself. Think about the next person. Think about the other Nigerian as you are leaving that space. What image have you left for Nigerians? Think about it. before making some decisions. Thank you so much guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. At this point, if you haven't subscribed, why not? Please hit the subscription button, turn on the bell beside of it so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Drop your comments in the comment section. I want to see reasonable comments. I want to see intellectual comments. I want to see comments that are there to solve a problem, not to create a problem. So drop your comments in the comment section. I'll be here to read and reply all of your comments. And do not forget, if you drop any comment that is insensitive, I will not hesitate to delete and block. Thank you so much guys for watching, and until we meet next time, do not forget to always smile because you're beautiful when you do. Bye.